Welcome to the Dating with Katy podcast. Today we're speaking about dating in the golden years, dating in your 60s, even maybe that late 50s, 60s and 70s. It's a different storyline, and so we're going to address some of a lot of the cons today. So, but not to discourage you, there is always hope. I mean, I recently just got engaged. You know, I love when I meet older couples that are coming together and how they met, and they get married and or just have great companionship. So there are great stories to all of that. So be encouraged. As a matter of fact, just this past weekend, one of my very first coaching clients just got married, and she was in her 50s. She was kind of a late bloomer, hadn't really ever been married before, and she met him on her second Bumble date. So she was just a coaching client. She was working through the dating processes. And honestly, I was big and pivotal in how she kind of went on that date, because he picked in an Indian restaurant, and I was like, girl, that is not romantic. So that's a great story. I'll have to do a whole podcast on client success stories. But their success stories are out there, so be encouraged. Now, please make sure that you subscribe, you send this to a friend. There's always that single friend who needs to be encouraged as well. And then if you could also just check out my courses. If you're new to dating, 14 Days of Dating Success. If you're a lady, 7 Steps to Sexy, how to get that zhuzh back. It's my frumpy to fabulous story. And guys, style yourself confident and Confidence 101. Like, if you need it, go get it. So no one's going to know. It's secret, but still. All right, so let's get started. Sorry, I was doing my hair on the video here, is what it is. I got an email the other day, and it's from Kathy. She says, Happy Memorial Day, Katy. Happy Memorial Day weekend, Katy. And by the way, thank you for all who serve. Over 1 million people have passed of those who serve in our military. So I just want to say thank you. If you have a child, if you have a spouse, if you serve, thank you. Our country is great because of you. She says, I'm a 70-year-old female who has no problems getting dates. Look at you, Kathy, organically and living in a tourist area, which usually is not great for that. She said many are out of town, and that's fine with me. Ooh, she's like, that's good. I can work with that. I can date multiples. She didn't say that. I did. She says, I date guys between 60 and 66 typically. So she's 70. She must be looking pretty good. That's the age range that usually asks me out, as I won't go out with anyone younger. I've never dated anyone my age. I did fill out your site, so she's in my database. Get in my database. It's right below. I never hear you talking about matching people in their 60s, so not sure if you even have a market for that, but I love your podcast. I've listened to it more times than you would imagine, and I just play through the whole series on repeat, and you just go through each thing. I love your insight. I love your pertinent advice. It reinforces what I believe, and I do believe in God, so that as well. Thrilled you are engaged. Whoop, whoop. You deserve a beautiful life, and thank you for all you do, and you inspire everyone, Kathy. Well, Kathy, thank you, and I hope... sometimes I realize a little bit about myself. I believe in that 80-20 rule. Like 80% of people out there aren't ready to date. 20% people are. When you're in a relationship, you should love 80% about it. 20% you're either working on, or it's just is what it is. But I also realized something about me. 80% of what I believe is very practical. It's very real. And it's, relationally, it's the dirty business. It's how to do relationships right. And only 20% is romantic. So sometimes I feel like, gosh, am I too hard on everybody? But I guess when stuff hits the fan, at least you're going to have practical, applicable solutions to these problems in dating and relationships, because that's really where success lies. So let me, I just was chatting with 3 other matchmakers for my company, and we have a lot of inquiries with people who are older and single. Now, if you are, I suggest get in the database. Now, remember, if you're in the database, you're not a paying client, so that will only mean I'll reach out if we have someone who is a paying client and would like to go out with you. If not, I highly recommend make sure your pictures are good, always important. But if we don't reach out, then you've got to keep pursuing a relationship on your own. I have a great podcast. My whole season 1 is on online dating. I'll give you some suggestions on where you should be if you're in the golden years of online dating, because it's a numbers game. So, but if you'd like, you can hire us. I can say we're not cheap. We are the Neiman Marcus of matchmaking, but we have a different echelons of people. So if you are of that echelons and you're looking to find that equal partner, we understand that, and we will introduce you to that. So in that age range, it's not as easy anymore, obviously. But we do also recommend safety is key, especially for you older women out there. We do not want to see anybody, taken by a scammer. So if you are online dating and you're a little bit older, actually any age, ladies of all ages, make sure you're doing this. Always 2 things. We do a background check. It's a quick one. We actually have a And you can ask your grandkids, I'm not sure, but online there's different websites where you can purchase a program and you can check people's phone numbers. So they give you a phone number, you can actually double check that to see if it's that person or in that area. So get one of those number checkers. And then also always never go meet anybody, never send anybody money, never believe anybody what they tell you. Don't believe anything anymore. People are flakes, people are scammers. Always get on a video online call first, period. See them, see their background, and if they won't do it, move on, delete, report. So always, your safety is important, and that's why people will typically be hiring us because they don't want to have to go do all that. So with that being said, let's talk about dating in your 50s first, because I am 47 this year. A lot of my friends are 50. They're in that early 50s dating market, and it's rough. Those 50s are rough because men in their 50s, if you're a woman and you're dating in your 50s, there's that new fine line of like, have you kept yourself well? I mean, age is now part of the factor. And have you kept yourself up? Because girls in their 40s can look dramatically better just because of a 10-year gap. I can tell you I look much different than 10 years ago. Like I have had to keep it up more, my skin and the sagging and working out. You have to be consistent in keeping it up. And I have quite a few friends and I follow them, so you can go check them out, who are spectacular and gorgeous in their 50s and 60s, but they work their butts off for it. None of it is purchased. They are at the gym every day. They are doing what they need to do. So ladies in your 50s, do what you got to do. You have to be out there. You have to be consistent. You have to have that healthy lifestyle so that you can stay fit, right? And you have to be keeping things up and lasers. Unless you're okay with how it goes, that's fine too, but don't be disappointed when dating is harder, because men in their 50s can date younger. And it's just a truth. I know you're not going to want to hear it. It's truth. So you have a little bit different of a competition, especially here in LA and Orange County, but I think it's kind of across the board now because there's so many choices, and being online, these guys have more options, especially for the younger girls. And a lot of younger women, or even women post-divorce, maybe aren't financially secure, so they're hoping for that older, secure man. Truth is truth. So ladies in your 50s, make sure you're keeping it up the best that you can, right? With that as well, let's move on to the idea that plan ahead. If you're in your 50s and you don't want to get to your 60s and be single, you got to be dating. You got to be out there. You got to be looking for the good guy who loves you beyond your looks, obviously, who is a good man and is not going to be looking at other women. So quit picking the hot guy. I can't say this enough. Like, my girlfriend is going through it right now. She's 50. She is beautiful. But at the same time, the guys who are interested are older, and we're going to talk about that because these older men don't look as good. They're not keeping themselves. So guys, if you're in your 60s, take care of yourself. All of you guys say this, well, I look young and I feel young. No, bro, you look old. Like, your skin is haggard. You got age spots. These women are taking such good care of themselves these days. We have so many creams and lotions. It's okay if you go use them too. I just rubbed some cream on my man's brown spots last night. I'm like, baby, we got to work on these. Like, I'm not going to look young and you're going to look old. Like, we age together, but you need to put a little bit more effort. So guys, go take my Style Yourself Confident course. I actually talk about skin programs, Botox, like making sure your weathered face does not need to look so weathered. It can look better. It can look 10 years younger without anybody knowing. So if you are a man getting up in your 50s and 60s and you think you look so young, you probably don't. You probably have the gobbler. Get rid of the gobbler. Get rid of it. It's so, when we're looking at you sideways, the whole chin that keeps going down, it's not cute. So again, I'm all for that, because here's the thing is people will pass on you so quickly if you don't look good. And you don't have to look young and fake and Botox. And guys, I'm not looking for you to have a full head of hair, but you can take care of yourself better than maybe you are. So that's my question to you on that. So again, that is part of the competition of dating older, is people are looking younger, people are keeping themselves better, and men are dating younger, and that's just the truth. So my girlfriend, who is in it right now, she went on a date last night, and she said, Katy, he showed up, he had like his buttons all down, he had silver bracelets. To me, it's a little Guido-ish, like Italian Guido. And he's telling her, yeah, I date significantly younger. If he says that on a date and you are not significantly younger, get a clue. He's obviously interested in you, but I mean, really, will he be interested in you in the long run? Now, ironically, she's actually gone on a date with this other guy who's done everything right. He is the good guy, but she's not attracted to him. And he's been doing everything right, and it just makes me sad because, this attraction thing, it all fades anyway, but you want a man who adores you, ladies. So just keep that in mind as the pickings get slimmer and slimmer. If he adores you and he makes you laugh, like, can we look beyond that and look at their spirit? So make sure that the goal in the 60s and the 70s is really, it's companionship. I mean, I had a client, he was in his 80s, and he's like, Katy, I don't even need that much sex anymore, although I'd like her to look good. He goes, I just want someone to hang out with me. And it's true. There's this goal of companionship, hobbies, celebrating families together. So that's why it's important in this season of life to really look at that as well as an important factor. So let's talk about this. Ladies, in your 60s, you're going to have to learn to accept a man for who he is. Now, give me a minute on this because I'm going to ask the men to do something as well. I know it's hard. Men get set in their ways, but I'm going to encourage the guys to actually be growing as well. So I know it is, but in the beginning, accept him. And I do believe as feminine women, we have the energy to encourage them to grow and to change in some of their ways. Now, if he's a curmudgeon, if you can handle a curmudgeon, go ahead, but I know that's hard. And ladies, keep yourself well. Keep stylish, keep pretty, keep that smile on, don't turn bitter. I've been on a couple online sites, like I've been on Silver Singles, I've been on Bumble, I've been on eHarmony, I have actually been on Seeking Arrangements with the older women section, looking for a client of mine. And some of you ladies, it's just rough. Either you're trying too hard to look like you're 30 and you're looking trashy, and it's just not cute. Be really elegant. Women in your 60s should be this elegant, sexy, classy, Chanel-esque. I think every man likes that. It's a safe space. Be also cute and fun. Maybe some jean shorts, cute top. When you're trying to push the sexy 17-year-old look, it's not sexy. Even to my client, he was like, what is that? She looks like trash. So really there's that fine line of trashy versus classy when you get to that age group. And while I'm going through clothing now, because I'm coming to my 50s, I've noticed that as well. So stay looking good, learn to accept these men. But men, again, I already gave you some schmooze about your face. Get your face done. Clean that up a little bit. Goes a long way with you guys. And I know you men are visual. This is why I'm telling the ladies, stay looking your best. So they also want women who are fun. Ladies, be fun. Don't be bitter. And don't be too busy with your girlfriends. I've had male clients say they're always just too busy with their girlfriends. But also, guys, could you do us a favor and just still be open to growing? I know that I'm an old dog. You can't teach me new tricks. Yeah, we can. We can. Okay. So have an attitude that's willing to adjust for her, put in the effort for her. I get a lot of older men who are like, I don't want to drive. I don't want to do this. Well, then you're going to sleep alone at night. Good luck. I can't change anything if you are not willing to change. Lastly, where do you guys meet each other? And I am a fan of online. I think it's a great way to start. I know these guys are not doing a great job. I've seen the effort. It's kind of minimal. Ladies, be directive. Go listen to my podcast. If you're that older man, the older man in the market actually has the market. There's a lot more older women. And if you're the older woman who is good looking and has great pictures, you are going to be, you're going to have a better market as well. But guys, you actually have a great market. So make sure that you have some great photos so you can choose well. But please go get some hobbies. Make sure that you are doing things like book club, classes. Of course, pickleball is the big thing right now. It's not that exhausting. Everyone's playing it. Golf. Ladies, learn to golf. I can't say this enough. Tennis, join clubs, right? Also, hit car shows, old car shows. Get an old car. Ladies, if you can afford an old car, you will meet men everywhere. You will be at a red light and guys will be rolling down their window. I know I want to get a Spider, like an old Corvette Spider. Okay, what else? Go to golf opens, like the US Open, golf or tennis opens. This is where the men are. Move. Maybe you need to move where they are, right? So where are all the older people moving to? Scottsdale, anywhere in that Phoenix area, Naples, Florida. I was just there. It's spectacular. If you're looking for financially strong people, because you are as well, that's where you're going to find them, right? They're going to be up in Colorado as well. You're going to find them in Aspen. New York is full of the older people, and those are some tight communities. Palm Springs, Santa Fe, New Mexico, I read. These are all places where you are going to find people of your age, and you might just need to move. Right? Lastly, I always encourage this. Guys, church, whether it's temple, whether it's church, whether it's a community-based faith group, go to those. And now my church is part of a bigger church. So there's multiple locations. And when they have their big things, you can go up to the the mothership, I like to call it. A lot of the older couples in my church met through church. And lastly, ask people at church, ask people in your friend group, ask your kids' friends who are younger if they know anybody. People know people who are single, and I know you guys all think I'm going to like make your perfect match, but I'm not. And if you're not paying me, I probably, may or may not reach out. But people know people. So let them know I'm single. You know any great older men for me? I like to date my age range. Let them know a few of the details and then be open and go on a dang date and maybe go on 3 to get to know somebody. You guys know these are just my principles for dating. So be encouraged. If you really want some serious help, I'm happy to help you. I will be your direct matchmaker. We do an amazing job. We have a great database full of, singles of that age range and of that just the echelons that you're looking for. So let me know if you'd like some help with that. But nonetheless, be encouraged. I know stories of people who got married for the first time in their 80s, and they're the cutest couples ever. So be encouraged. They're out there, and just keep moving forward. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining, and cheers until next time.